So adding and subtracting numbers, we love to add and subtract numbers. Who doesn't love this? Sometimes we have to do this without a calculator, and when they throw positive numbers and negative numbers at you, it's really easy to mix a couple things up and to end up with a different answer. So just wanted to go through a couple guidelines that you could follow when you're adding and subtracting numbers. This first example, what I want to point out is we're adding a positive number with a negative number. When you're adding numbers with different signs, you can do this every single time. You take the bigger number, which is 22, well, it's really thick, and subtract the smaller number. So 22 minus 10 is 12. So our answer is 12. The only thing we have to figure out if this should be a positive 12 or a negative 12. So what you do is you look at the bigger number between 10 and 22, which is 22, and our answer has to have the same sign as that. And because it's a negative 22, we're going to put a negative number with our 12, and we have a negative 12 for our answer. So if you're adding numbers with opposite signs, go ahead and do subtraction, get your answer, and then figure out if you should have a positive or a negative answer. All right, moving over to the right, we've got that negative 2 plus a negative 6. Here we have a negative number plus a negative number. So when you're adding numbers with the same sign, you're going to keep the same sign. So you can go ahead and add the 2 plus the 6, and we know that it's 8. And we're going to make this a negative 8 because when you add the same sign, keep the same sign. It's really easy to mix this one up with multiplying a negative times a negative. We know a negative times a negative is a positive number, but if it's an addition problem, a negative plus a negative is going to stay negative. So if you have the same sign, keep the same sign for your answer. All right, moving down bottom left, we have a negative 8 plus 17. So here's a negative and a positive. So when you are adding opposite signs, go ahead and change it to subtraction. We're just going to do 17 minus 8, and we get 9. So 9's our answer. We just have to figure out if it's a positive 9 or a negative 9. Look to your bigger number and keep that same sign. Since that 17 is positive, we're going to leave this as a positive 9. All right, last example, 15 minus 19. I've heard a lot of students say you can add op or add up, add the opposite basically, so maybe it's add op. I'm not really sure. Change this to addition if you would like and make that a negative 19. And now what we have is a positive and a negative number. So when you're adding opposite signs, change it to subtraction, 19 minus 15, which we know is 4. And then, should it be a positive 4 or a negative 4? Well, which one's bigger? The 19, which is negative, so we're going to keep that same sign. So we have a negative 4. So just a couple tricks to get you through adding and subtracting negative, positive numbers, especially if you have to do this without a calculator.